Good evening. I'd like to call to order the Common Council for the City of Richmond for November the 6th, 2023. If everyone would please stand and join me in the pledge and a prayer.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we ask for your grace this evening. We also ask for your grace for our nation and other nations right now throughout the entire world. We ask that you give us the wisdom to do what we need to do to make sound judgments for the city of Richmond. Amen.
Amen.
Madam Clerk, you want to call the roll?
Doug Goss.
Here.
Lucinda Wright.
Present.
Bill Engel.
Here.
Jeff Kappa.
Here.
Jeff Locke.
Here.
Gary Turner.
Here.
Jane Bumbelow.
Here.
Ron Oler.
Here.
And Larry Parker.
Here.
All are present.
Thank you very much. Next on the agenda is the approval of the minutes for the regular meeting for October the 16th, 2023.
Mr. President, if there's no additions or corrections, I make a motion to approve the minutes of October 16th, 2023.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Next on the agenda is a presentation of petitions, memorials, or complaints, introductions, motions, and resolutions. I do not see any on the agenda for this evening, so next on that would be communications from the mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President. A couple of important things to pass along. First of all, leaf pickup is going on now. I want to reiterate some of the guidelines for leaf pickup for our citizens. Leaves should be raked into the roadway approximately 2 feet from the curb or the edge of the road where possible. In areas that have little or no curb lane, the leaves should be raked to the very edge of the curb or roadway. Leaf piles should be no higher than 2 feet so that the vision of drivers will not be obstructed. And please do not include anything besides leaves in the piles. Grass clippings, branches, garden waste, etc. It hurts our machines and costs us all money, and we don't want to see those machines destroyed. So please make sure it's only leaves. And then also, please don't place leaves in your weekly trash collection bins. Those will not be picked up if our drivers see that. The Richmond Street Department will collect leaves inside the city limits through December 15th, weather permitting. If weather gets in the way and we have to extend that, we'll always do that. And we have 5 crews covering the area. Residents who live on US 27, US 40, or State Route 227 need to bag their leaves and call for a special pickup from Richmond Sanitation Department, 983-7450. And you can also use that number if you have any additional questions, 983-7450. Speaking of Sanitation Department, the question was asked earlier about the holiday this week and trash pickup. Friday is an observed holiday for Veterans Day. So if you have Friday trash pickup, it'll be picked up on Monday. And then moving to just one other thing really quick. Tomorrow is Election Day, and I just want to encourage everybody to get out and vote. Polls will be open from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. There are 4 polling places in Richmond: First Bank Coleman Center, First English Lutheran Church, Mount Olive Baptist Church, and First Baptist Church on South A Street. So hopefully we have a great turnout tomorrow and people make it out to the polls to vote. I'll entertain any questions you have for me, Mr. President.
Mr. Mayor, just one, is there a schedule that is being put out by the street department on what date and time they might be in a certain area of the city with the leaf?
Yes, there is an interactive map and a list on our city website, richmondindiana.gov. You can just search 2023 leaf pickup and you'll find everything you need.
Thank you very much.
Mr. President?
Yes, Mr. Engel.
Mr. Mayor, is there trash pickup tomorrow with Election Day?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm a Tuesday pickup, so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Get home, get that dumpster out there.
Okay.
Got it out already, my friend.
Next on the agenda is the report of the Board of Public Works and Safety for October the 5th and October the 19th, 2023, and should have been included in your packets. Any comments or questions?
Mr. President,
Mr. Parker?
I have a question. I see on here all the contracts for cleanup that we have on some of the vacant homes, I suppose. My question is, do we charge the homeowner for this cleanup? Or do we place a lien on that property?
Can you tell me to which contract specifically you're referring? I may have to go find that information for you.
Is it 618?
I don't have those contracts with me here at this meeting.
There's one at 6.
166-2023, Red Dog Enterprises, Randolph Street, 1200.
October the 5th.
167 is Richmond Avenue, 1,500. My question, and then there's 168 to 2023.
Okay,
My question just is, do we charge these people and do we put a lien on the property? Or are we doing this out of the goodness of our heart?
Any fines that are issued, excuse me, through the unsafe building process, the homeowner is expected to satisfy those, and then any additional cleanup fees, that would be the same. Now, after the fine or the fees are not paid, a lien is placed on the property.
So we do put a lien on this?
That's correct.
Good. Thank you. That's what I wanted to know. Thank you very much.
Mr. President,
Mr. Engel?
could I also add, I don't know if this is the right time, but the Veterans Day Parade is Saturday, starting at 9 a.m. on the west side on West Main, followed by a ceremony at 11 a.m. at Veterans Park. Just wanted to point that out.
Can you, if you would, please just repeat that one more time for the audience.
The parade starts at 9 a.m. on Saturday, November 11th, on the west side. I think it's Northwest 7th and Main, heading east. And then the Veterans Day service is at 11 a.m. in Veterans Park.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, no further comments or questions on the Board of Public Works. Next on the agenda is reports from the department heads, standing committees, special committees, and organizations. Mr. Mayor, do we have anyone from your department?
Not tonight.
Thank you very much. Next on the agenda is miscellaneous business. We have none. So we'll be moving forward to ordinances on the first reading.
Mr. President?
Yes.
Move that we suspend the rules and hear ordinance 46, 2023, and 47, 2023 by title only.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by stating aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you.
Ordinance number 46, 2023, an appropriation ordinance authorizing the submittal, acceptance, and appropriation of a grant from the Indiana Department of Homeland Security.
Good evening, Mr. President, council members. My name is Audrey Shake, and I am the grant administrator for the City of Richmond. Ordinance 46, 2023 is an appropriation ordinance authorizing the submittal, acceptance, and appropriation of a grant from the Indiana Department of Homeland Security, specific to mobile integrated healthcare programs. The Richmond Fire Department is preparing to submit an application on November 8th, 2023 to the Indiana Department of Homeland Security for $75,000 to fund the expansion of the department's current paramedicine program. The original deadline to submit was November 1st. We received a one-week extension to submit the application in order for the request to go through council. This proposal states a match is preferred and preference will be given to organizations that provide one. The city will fund 100% match as cash from budgeted emergency medical services funding in the 2023 budget. And I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
I do have a comment, though, for the rest of the council. I did speak with Audrey, and I did speak with the fire chief, Brown. I wanted to compliment, wanted to compliment Audrey on her work on this because of such a short notice. Trying to get it to the council was just not going to happen for us to follow proper procedure. In speaking with her, I asked for her to see if she could reach out and see if we could get an extension. She did. She put a lot of work into this, and we were granted the extension so we could do it appropriately this evening, and I want to thank you for that.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Anyone else have any questions?
No questions, just comments, sir.
Absolutely. Mr.
The Finance Committee has met, and we have a little over $3 million in that reserve for the $75,000 matching grant. And it sounds like a good program, a good opportunity, so we recommend approval moving forward to second reading. That's a motion.
Thank you.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to move it to second reading. All in favor signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Hearing none, motion carries.
Thank you.
Ordinance number 46, 2023, an appropriation ordinance authorizing the submittal, acceptance, and appropriation of a grant from the Indiana Department of Homeland Security.
Now open this up to public hearing. Call for speakers in support of the ordinance. Call for speakers in support of the ordinance. Hearing none, call for speakers in opposition to the measure.
Move for engrossment.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion for engrossment. Second, all in favor signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Call the question.
Second.
Goss,
Aye.
Lucinda Wright,
Aye.
Bill Engel,
Aye.
Jeff Locke,
Aye.
Gary Turner,
Aye.
Jane Bumblew,
Aye.
Ron Oler,
Aye.
Larry Parker,
Aye.
Jeff Kappa.
Aye.
9 are in favor. Excuse me. Ordinance number 47, 2023, an appropriation ordinance amending ordinance number 34-2023, known as the 2023 salary ordinance.
Evening, Chief.
Good evening.
Good evening.
The Richmond Fire Department is looking for an appropriation ordinance on the salary. We've been granted by the state of Indiana a 2-year no-cost extension for approximately $380,000 for the monies that we have not spent yet in the Indiana Department of Health grant for the original paramedicine program. So they've made us aware that we have those funds available and gave us the 2-year extension. With this, we're looking to put in place a third social worker for the department. To date, we have reached 1,642 patients. 311 of those are actually patients that are followed up on daily. That's divided by 2 of our social workers, which is quite a bit of work. So we're looking to add to this department to split up that workload a little bit.
Any questions for the chief?
Mr. President,
Mr. Parker?
if you add this additional person, there'll still be money left over. Is that correct?
Correct.
What happens to that money? Do you lose it? Do you keep it? What do you do?
No, we keep it. We utilize it for vehicles, uniforms, radio communications, that kind of thing.
Okay. And you feel like that the next year you'll be able to support the 3 people's salary?
Absolutely.
Out of what money?
With the EMS budget and with additional grants.
Thank you.
Mr. President,
Mr. Oler?
Chief, this is actually for 2 years, correct?
Year
This will
extension,
fund it for
yes.
2 years through 2025.
Right.
So it's 2026.
2024,
We'll be figuring out
2025, and then we'll
how to
have
fund it.
to work it into the budget in 2026.
Any further questions?
Mr. President,
Mr. Engel?
Chief, are you as far along as being able to change the schedule that we currently have for those workers?
That's what we're currently working towards.
Okay.
We want to put a second shift on of
Right.
social workers. However, we're going to have to get everybody trained to the same level before we can release them to be on their own.
How long do you think that'll take?
I don't know for sure.
Okay.
It depends on the call load and where the supervisor can work with each one of them to get them to where they need to be.
Great. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any additional comments, questions?
Mr. President,
Mr. Oler?
Finance Committee met earlier today and recommends approval, so that's a motion to move this to second reading.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Hearing none, motion carries.
Ordinance ordinance number 47, 2023, an appropriation ordinance amending ordinance number 34-2023, known as the 2023 salary ordinance.
We now open this up for public hearing. Calling for speakers in support of the ordinance. Good evening, Chief.
Good evening. I'll speak in support of this ordinance and explain to you the importance of how this has played out since its inception. The police department, if you're not aware, I've probably made this statement before, but about 25 to 30% of our call load is mental health related. The Richmond Fire Department, with its community paramedicine program and its utilization of social workers, has been a huge boost in how we handle those things. As you can imagine, policemen are not fully equipped to handle some of the things that these mental health consumers need. And this has been just a wonderful tool. So I would appreciate council's support on this, just from the police department side. It's been very beneficial.
Thank you, Chief, for your comments.
Thank you.
Mr. President, but Chief, before you go,
Chief?
Chiefs,
Sir.
I just wanted to know how that is working between the two departments, between police and the fire departments.
It's actually very seamless. We experience certain types of calls, and we can recognize pretty quickly that this person needs something that we may not be able to provide. In the past, more often than not, this involved a trip to Reed Hospital or the jail, neither one of which was the right answer for the situation. However, the social workers bring more tools to the table with them, and it's actually been quite the blessing for us. But yeah, when we call, they come, and
That's great.
I couldn't ask for better.
I would guess any kind of follow-up, it would probably be very helpful to your departments.
Absolutely.
Great, thank you. Thanks.
I saw this firsthand in the past 2 weeks. I had a family crisis, which I asked one of the caseworkers or the social worker to intervene, and they did, and I was just completely fascinated with the quality of work that they did and helped resolve the problem.
Wonderful.
From a personal side, that was what I've experienced.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, calling for anyone else who'd like to speak in favor of the ordinance? Okay. Calling for speakers in opposition to the measure?
Move for engrossment.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for engrossment. All in favor signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Hearing none, motion carries.
Call the question.
Second.
Okay. Madam Clerk?
Doug Goss,
Aye.
Lucinda Wright,
Aye.
Bill Engel,
Aye.
Jeff Locke,
Aye.
Gary Turner,
Aye.
Jane Bumbelow,
Aye.
Ron Oler,
Aye.
Larry Parker,
Aye.
and Jeff Kappa.
Aye.
All are in favor.
Very good.
Okay. Next on the agenda is ordinances on second reading.
Ordinance number 45-2023, an appropriation ordinance amending the 2023 budget.
Turner, do you want to speak about the ordinance that was last meeting?
This was referred to finance for comment, actually.
Okay.
Yes, it was. Mr. President, the Finance Committee has met. They're asking for $2,393,000 and change for matching grants for some Richmond and Wayne County shared projects and some Richmond projects and some equipment to purchase that total over $18 million. So this is a 750% return on investment. Finance Committee strongly recommends moving forward.
Thank you very much. We'll now go into public hearing. Call for speakers in support of the ordinance. Calling for speakers in support of the ordinance.
Mr. President, I would point out that we had several people speak on behalf of this ordinance at our last meeting.
Thank you. Okay.
Yep.
Call for speakers in opposition to the measure.
Move for engrossment.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for engrossment. All in favor signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Call the question.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Doug Goss,
Aye.
Lucinda Wright,
Aye.
Bill Engel,
Aye.
Jeff Locke,
Aye.
Gary Turner,
Aye.
Jane Bumbelow,
Aye.
Ron Oler,
Aye.
Larry Parker,
Aye.
and Jeff Kappa.
Aye.
All are in favor.
Thank you. Okay, we have no unfinished business on the docket. Next will be call for adjournment.
Call for adjournment.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
RP&L, 10 minutes.
7 minutes.